Welcome to Booze and Bourbon, a podcast where we talk about all things paranormal, and bourbon too. Now, here are your two ghostess hostesses with the mostest, Kim and Jen.
Welcome back, everybody, to Booze and Bourbon. I'm Jen, and this is Kim.
Hello, Jen. How are you today?
Just fandabula. I don't think that's a word. Fandabula. I'm just going to create it. I'm not sure if that's a word or not, but yes, that's how I am.
Hold the phone. I'm calling Webster's Dictionary. How's your week been?
It's all right. I mean, we've had some snow here. You know, we're getting some more sometime soon, I'm sure, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
I mean, things have been pretty good over here in my neck of the woods. Of course, like you said, lots of snow. I'm going snowshoeing this week. You mentioned you might be going skiing?
Yes, I've been trying to go. Actually, every single time we tried to go, it either was like a snowstorm or it was raining. So this was like the first time that we kept checking the weather. We're like, this is it. This is going to happen. It's now or never.
Amazing. Well, that'll be fun. I don't know the last time. I do know the last time. The last time I was able to snowshoe was 2 years ago, because last year we had just pure ice. Like, it would snow and then it would rain.
Yeah.
So all we had was just like a thin layer of ice, which was super annoying, and that is not good for snowshoeing. So
No.
I'm sure the same sort of thing goes for skiing. You're probably going to get your best conditions this year as opposed to last year.
I think so. And just a heads up for everyone. I mean, if I come back in a cast, it's probably because I haven't skied in like close to, I don't even know, 4 or 5 years maybe. So this should be really entertaining for all to see. And
did you say a full body cast or just a cast?
just a cast. I'm not really sure what limb, but I feel like one of the 4. It's possible. It's quite possible.
One of the 4 extremities, not necessarily full body cast.
Yeah, I'm not going to go for the full body, just possibly a limb for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, either way, if you need somebody to draw some fun, scary little ghosts on your casts, you know who to call.
Absolutely.
Oh, boy. Well, okay. So since we have established that we're excited that there's actually snow on the ground,
Yes.
now is time to celebrate, and we're going to celebrate with some bourbon.
Please.
Since our episode that we did with the mystery collection has poofed into thin air,
Yes.
I mean, he's a magician. Maybe he did this on purpose.
Right.
I don't know. Anyway, so our Tower 56 review is poof gone as well. So let's bring the Tower 56 bourbon back. It is now under the name of 477 Distilling or 477 Distilling. And if you go to 477distilling.com, you can see their whole lineup. And from what I understand, the label will change. But for right now, we're still working with the Tower 56 straight bourbon whiskey. I know you don't have any there right in front of you, Jen. I have some here.
Mm-hmm.
I will virtually send you some.
Yes.
There's a little cork pop for you.
That was good.
Thanks. I'm just going to pour a little here. It smells so yummy. Like, it has a lot of sweet, sort of sweet heat. And I'm thinking that's from the wheat that's in it.
Sweet heat from the wheat. Yes.
I'm
a good rhyme.
a rapper.
Yeah.
I'm famous. Anyway, on the nose, definitely getting the wheat forward. It is oaky. There is some nice sweet vanilla in there. Upon tasting it, there's a lot of woodiness, but not overly powerful with the oak. Like you and I said, you can't quite establish what that flavor is that we're not 100% used to. I think it's wood. I just don't know what it is. It's got, you know, a little bit of floral kind of taste in there as well. Obviously caramel. But it's one of those dangerous sippers. It's a 90 proof. You wouldn't expect it to be that sippable, but it certainly is. The finish is nice and smooth. It's not an overly long finish, but if you are in the US and you can get your hands on this, it is made in Colorado. And go check out 477distilling.com.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I did get to try it, and I wish I was sampling again because I do need a warm bourbon pocket But I will have one later. But in the meantime, maybe we should play a little game.
Mm-hmm. You want to play Would You Rather?
Yes, I would. Would you rather be terrorized by a satanic snowman that you yourself built on your lawn, but it came to life? And
what?
Yes. And now it creeps around the outside of your house. It waits for you to leave your home. It peeks in your windows. It's the creepiest of snowmen. Or, option B, would you rather...
Option B!
Snowmen aren't that bad.
Okay.
Or would you rather be, again, we'll just say traumatized and constantly bothered by a evil, I don't even know what to call him. He's kind of like a wizard slash, we'll just call him a wizard. But he lives in the woods. He wears a long black cape. He comes out only in the wintertime, and he likes to walk through the snow and creep up on people. And again, he may in fact follow you into your home. So this one can get in, the snowman can't.
Oh, okay. Well, since you've made this super easy for me to choose, how about I go with option A, because I would just install a heater outside and somehow like try to entice him to walk close to the heater, and then he would just melt.
But he's like the devil, so he doesn't mind.
I know. Okay. Well, since you say I can't melt him, I'm going to have to go with the wizard man. Okay. We don't like evil things, and I don't know, maybe I could get some like psychological help for wizard man. I don't know.
Maybe he could be useful.
Don't know.
You never know. He just looks really creepy, but he might be useful for something.
Right. Okay. We will go with that, Jen. Thanks.
Okay, great.
Now I'm always going to have my windows like covered up.
Build a snowman this weekend and tell me what you think after you build it. If he looks like he's looking at you. Just joking.
Okay. Yep. Awesome. Great. I'll like make one with my little nephews, and they'll be like, why does this look so evil? Jen made me do it. My question for you is, would you rather, much like this whole Whaley House situation we're going to be talking about here, would you rather live in a house that you built brand new that was on land where people were hanged from the gallows?
Mm-hmm.
Or would you rather live in a house in which you knew someone, just one, was killed in?
Ooh. I'm going to go with the one.
Okay.
One is better than some and
several.
Yeah. So one I might be able to manage, and even though the other house is new, I don't like the idea of, the land could be also much ruined at that point. So like it's not good in or out of the house maybe. So I'm just going to go with the one. The one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That is a good choice. I mean, neither are obviously great choices, but Yeah. Okay. All right. So, like I mentioned, we're talking about a very haunted home, and it is apparently a place in which complete skeptics who are quivering in... I'm going to start that again. It is a place in which complete skeptics change their mind. They end up leaving the place quivering in their booties. It's also dubbed as being the most haunted home in America, but let's be honest, we have said that before. And we're going to tell you some stories about this place, and you can be the judge whether or not it is. And while we're on that topic of haunted homes, I want you to think about, what is the basis for an exceptionally haunted house? Obviously, the house needs to be inhabited by ghosts, but how did they get there and why? And usually a ghost will linger between the walls of a home or stuck in the in-between if there's been a tragedy, a quick or sudden death, someone taking their own life, illness, or on the complete opposite side of the mirror, it could be someone who absolutely adored the home and wanted to return in their afterlife. But what would make the house even more haunted? And think about it for a second. Does the home have to be the only thing that's haunted about the location? Probably not. And it can also have haunted land as well. And in this particular story we're going to tell you about in this episode, there's just that. There is haunted land first and then a haunted house second. And we're talking about the Whaley House in San Diego, California.
Doo-doo-doo. Good time to take a little break, and then we'll come back with some awesome but scary Whaley House.
It looks like you lost another one.
Welcome back, everybody. The Whaley House. This lovely place is located at 2476 San Diego Avenue in, of course, San Diego. It is a Greek Revival-styled old residence, which was originally built by Mr. Whaley himself in 1857. What Thomas Whaley didn't know at the time is that the land in which he was about to build upon was a place of darkness and evil. What he did know was this. Whaley built his house on a graveyard where many souls lay perished, as well as an execution site where many criminals and innocent people's lives came to an abrupt end. What he didn't realize at the time was that there are such things as ghosts and spirits. Thomas Whaley didn't believe in the paranormal at all, it seemed, because he actually witnessed the hanging of an elusive criminal, Yankee Jim Robinson. People also knew him as Santiago, who came to his death on the graveyard by being hanged off the back of a wagon right where the Whaley house sits now.
Ew.
Yeah. Once the house was completed, Thomas and his wife, Anna, along with 3 young children, wasted no time and moved into their brand new family home. And it wasn't long before rumors started circulating of the Whaley house and that it was haunted. Both Thomas and Anna both reported to hearing heavy footsteps passing through their home at night when it was silent. And when investigated by Thomas, he found nothing but an imprint of a grown man's foot. Ew.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. What's up with that?
Just one foot? Or is there 2?
I think it's just one.
Strange.
I know. So apparently they hadn't lived there long when they opened up a general store within their family home. And life seemingly was going well for the Whaleys, but sadly it wasn't long before a tragedy struck. Their 18-month-old baby, Thomas Jr., contracted scarlet fever and died soon after within being in the family home. And then only a few short months after that, a huge fire broke out and decimated the general store. The Whaleys decided they needed a break. They had faced so much sorrow and sadness that they had decided to pack up and leave the Whaley house for several years. In 1868, they decided to return back to their once beloved, but jammed full of sad memories, home to raise their quickly growing family, which now consisted of 5 children. Almost immediately after they moved home, they decided to reopen the general store. Feeling exceptionally like an entrepreneur, Mr. Whaley's home was now the home of San Diego's first theater troupe, and the house also became the headquarters for the city's courtroom. And finally, the Whaleys thought life was good again, but that too was short-lived. Their lives took a tragic turn, and over the years, things progressively deteriorated for the Whaleys. In 1871, Thomas Whaley was away on a business trip, and Anna was left alone with the 5 children when a group of dangerous armed gunmen broke in and held Anna at gunpoint as they stole all of the courthouse records. A few years later, 2 of the Whaley daughters got married, both in the house itself. Violet, the youngest of the 2 girls, soon became unhappy and miserable in her marriage and could no longer remain married to her husband, George Bertolacci, and divorced him. However, Violet was so depressed and shameful with how her life had turned out that she decided to end her misery and committed suicide. On the 18th of August of 1885, Violet took a gun and shot herself in the chest, resulting in her bloody death.
Well, Violet wasn't the only member of the Whaley family to have died in the family home. In total, 6 of the Whaley family lived and died in this house, which include Thomas and Anna and their children, Thomas, Violet, Lillian, and Francis. What contributed to the Whaleys having such a misfortunate run at life? We go back to the subject of the land and the paranormal. The Whaley House has seen hauntings right from the very beginning, starting right back in 1857 when Anna claimed to hear strange, heavy footsteps wandering throughout the home. They thought then that it might be Yankee Jim Robinson. What's crazy about this is that they claimed that they would hear these noises throughout the night, and Jim would leave the outline of his footprint for all to see. Even though baby Thomas passed away at just 18 months old, his family and visitors to the house would often hear his sweet giggles when no other children were about, and at night, the wallowing cries from an infant could be heard. Even today, this is a reported haunting there.
That's crazy.
I know. No one has lived in the house since 1953, and over the years, restoration works have been carried out, seeing all different workmen come and go into the building. Most of these workers have claimed to have heard unexplainable noises from loud bangs, whispering, laughter, wallowing, and even screams and crying. Many report of seeing a young lady ghost who appears to be surrounded in sorrow up on the second floor. She's just aimlessly standing there. Some people say that when they saw the lady ghost, they themselves felt overwhelmingly sad. This sad soul is thought to be that of Violet Whaley, who shot herself. The ghost of Thomas Whaley himself often appears in front of visitors as he floats amidst the staircase. He appears to be smartly dressed in his best attire and hat. He also has been reported to wander the whole house, hearing when he feels like it. Anna's ghostly presence is also often here. Many people say that they can smell a sweet perfume waft past them and leaves a gentle, calm feeling as it does.
Crazy. I just want to say I did watch a show. I don't remember what it's called specifically, but it's basically like debunking paranormal. I think it's like Haunted or Not. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, this gentleman, he was a photographer. He stood outside of the Whaley House and started taking pictures. And in this one window, he caught the reflection of a man standing there. And they tried to debunk it, these people on this show, by like recreating where this man was standing, having somebody stand behind the glass, all this kind of thing. And there is no justifying how they can see this man, this Thomas Whaley, standing in the photo. So I will try to locate this photo and put it up on our social media. It's pretty cool. So that's not all of the creepy happenings here. And as well as all the hauntings that Jen just covered, there are other ghostly goings-on, from strange noises being heard by the staff as they lock up for the evening, and even strange mists and shadows and orbs which have been caught on camera. And you can even catch a glimpse of these ghosts just by walking past the building. People have reported to have someone watch them from a window, but when they look up, there's no one there. But sometimes the curtains are moving and no one's in the building and all the windows are closed at the time. The Whaley House has been investigated by many psychics over the years and paranormal activity teams, including Ghost Adventures. So let's talk about some of the people who have claimed to have had their own haunting experience at the Whaley House. And this one was found on Reddit. So it starts. As you now know, before the Whaley House was built, it used to be the gallows, since the graveyard was right next to it. All of the gallows victims seemingly had proper executions until a person named Yankee Jim or James. James was a unique man. He stood at 6'4", and when he went to the gallows and the platform dropped, it took up to 10 minutes until he died. And with that, the curse took place. I know, isn't that awful?
That's a long time.
So then, as you know, the Whaleys experienced a lot of heartache while living in their home, but ever since the death of the Whaleys, people have reported more paranormal experiences, mostly of which are on the stairs. And it's said that where the top of the gallows once stood is now the 9th step. Many guests feel a pressure on their head. Sometimes it comes with being lightheaded, and strangely enough, if you're related to the government in any way, such as the Army, Navy, Air Force, police, etc., you'll be more susceptible to some type of burning sensation. So this story goes on and it says, I think I was about 13 or 14 at the time when I visited the Whaley House. It was almost time for school to start back up again. My family and I decided to go to Old Town, and it just so happened to be the anniversary of the death of Violet Whaley. The house was a bit more active than usual, and as usual, before going to sightsee, we always started with going to a restaurant to eat, and then we went to the Whaley House. That place always gave me the shivers, but I assume that it was just from the stories that they tell while you're there. When my family went inside, we split into two groups. I went with my sister, and my mother went with my father. My sister and I decided to go upstairs to go ghost hunting with a ghost hunting app, but on our way upstairs, we felt this pressure on our head on the 9th step. And this time, we felt the burning. I guess this made sense since my grandpa Parker was in the Navy and my grandpa Hank was in the U.S. Air Force. Every time I visited in the past, I've said that I hate being upstairs because I always get an unsteady feeling. We talked to the employee for a bit and he told us some history on the place, and we decided to take the conversation near the master bedroom. That was a big mistake. While talking, I was facing my back towards the stairs, and 4 minutes into talking, I felt something pulling me back, as if I was going to fall down the stairs. So I grabbed a hold of the master bedroom doorway, and I could not let it go until we had to leave because, oh dear God, if I let go of that doorway, I would be pulled back. When we were in the living room area, we talked to another one of the employees, and I told her what happened. And she said, I fell down the stairs today too. I mean, the house has been more active recently, and maybe it's because of Violet's death anniversary. That's all I have for today, and I'm afraid. Yikes. That's crazy.
Yeah, the whole pulling thing is not cool, that's for sure.
No, and it makes me wonder about the stair thing. And I think I may have mentioned it. I don't know if it was when we were filming or if it was here on the show because they kind of are blending together now. But I did mention the fact that stairs can be one of the most haunted places within a haunted home because of that residual energy of people going up and down the stairs all the time and going it's used a lot within a home. So if anything within the home is going to hold on to energy, perhaps it's the staircase or the toilet.
I was just going to say, or toilet. Both are used a lot, but I feel like that would be a worse feeling. If you feel like you're getting pulled into your toilet, you'd be like, whoa.
Oh my God. I can just hear the excuses now.
Yeah.
Honey, why were you on the toilet for 45 minutes? Well, I felt like I was getting sucked in from the ghost.
Yeah. Yeah. The ghost that lives in the toilet was trying to pull me in. Yeah, it makes sense. Yep.
I know. So what do you think? Do you think the Whaley House is classified to be one of the most haunted houses in America?
I mean, like you said, we've kind of said that before. I don't know if I would say the most. I do definitely feel like it's very haunted. I would like to go there. I don't.
Yeah.
Questionable if it's the most haunted.
Right. Because I think we've gone to one of the most haunted places in all of America, which would have been Waverly Hills.
And that place gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I know, for so many reasons. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew. Well, guys, thanks for listening to us. If you want to listen to more of us, you can basically listen to us on any app providing podcasts out there. If you don't have that, you can also find us on the ABV network. We sometimes are on YouTube, occasionally. We have some vids on there. You can find us on Instagram. You can also find us on Facebook, Booze and Bourbon the Podcast. And if you want some cool jazz and some, t-shirts, socks, you name it, you can check out the Redbubble store.
And I will also say this now so I don't forget, but, we talk a lot of smack with our ghost hunting. And a lot of our friends in the United States have not been able to see us ghost hunt.
Right.
But in the spring, they're going to be able to watch us if they really want to. So On Vimeo, all of the seasons of Haunted are going to be available. Woo, 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 woo. So we'll keep you posted on the exact date when that launches, and we'll let you know some further details at that point. But you are going to be able to see us in action, and that's cool.
It is pretty cool. We tried to hold our shit together as best as we could, so...
Yeah, I am super, 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 super excited for season 6 to air, and that is going to happen February 20th for anybody who is in Atlantic, Canada, and is an Eastlink subscriber. So guys, thank you so much for listening today, and we hope that you enjoyed this episode. Let us know what you think of the Whaley House, and if you've ever been there, and let us know if you think it's the most haunted house in America.
Thanks, guys.
Booze and Bourbon is part of the ABV network. For more information or to advertise on the show, please head over to abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening, and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.